Welcome back to the Sales Pros Information Series. Today we are going to cover the procedures that I go through to set up a table for a wet tasting demo. It's not as easy as just walking into the store and pouring for customers, but it's not that complicated either. Let's take a look at the steps I go through when I'm preparing for a wet demo shift. On the portal, I've already verified that the demo is wet. I've checked the correct store location, double-checked and researched the products I'm going to pour, and printed and laminated my POS materials. Some of our clients may have specialty POS that has been sent to me, so I make sure that they are prepped for display as well. First, I always bring a 4-foot table with folding legs to the shift, in case the store doesn't have a portable bar or designated tasting area for me to conduct the demo. Next, I make sure I have everything I need to conduct the tasting. I have assembled my tasting kit in a plastic storage container so it is always ready for a shift. In my kit, I keep a black tablecloth, my name tag, a wine and bottle opener, plastic sign holders for my POS materials, an ice bucket, a roll of 2-inch wide plastic tape, scissors, a notepad, various pens and markers, a roll of paper towels, tasting cups of course, and the must be 21 sign. I also bring a small cooler that I'll use to store ice and bottles. As you have seen in these videos, my dress attire for a shift is usually business casual, which means a collared shirt, neat slacks, never jeans, and closed-toed comfortable shoes. I might also bring a light sweater, as many of our demos are in the refrigerated beverage section, which can be chilly. On the day of my demo, I once again check the store location. I once had a demo in a store that had another store location on the same street just a few miles away. I like to be sure I'm in the right store. I'll always arrive at the store a half an hour early, put my name tag on, and introduce myself to the manager on duty, whose name I write down to include on my invoice. I find where the demo is to be conducted and check in with the liquor or wine manager if there is one. If the store doesn't have a bar or demo area, I set up my table in an area as directed by the store personnel. I cover the table with my black tablecloth and assemble my POS, tasting cups, ice bucket, and ID signs. I'll also put a trash can for used tasting cups near the demo station. If your state requires a separated tasting area, the store will usually have stanchions to confine the tasting area. If I can't find them, I ask a store employee for assistance. Next, I'll buy the product, mixer, and ice if the products are to be chilled. I keep the product and mixer receipts separate from the ice as they are filed separately on my invoice. I purchased the smallest whole amount of product for the demo, 1 bottle of each wine or spirit, or 1 4 or 6-pack for beer. Locating the products can often be a challenge, so if you can't find them in the liquor department, look all over the store. I found product in the bakery, deli, produce, end caps, and checkout line. The manager may also have put the product away for the tasting, so if I can't find it after a thorough search, I'll ask for assistance. Now that I have the product chilling if needed, I'll count all the product on hand to include on my invoice. I'll grab as many bottles as will fit on my table. It's easier for customers to grab a bottle in easy reach when they are tasting. I'll ask a manager for price tags for my display. If they don't have time to make price tags, I will jot the prices down to let tasters know how much the product costs. Also, I make sure to use the restroom if needed before I open any product. Once everything is set up for the demo, I'll get a store employee or a customer to take a photo of me to include on my invoice. I try to do this before opening the tasting bar so that I don't forget. During the tasting, I try and get additional photos for our client of happy tasters. Now for the tasting. I'll often ask the manager to make an announcement over the store PA to let shoppers know there is a tasting going on in the store. That always drives customers to the tasting bar. I make it a policy to ID everyone. It's a small price to pay for a complimentary tasting. If customers do complain, I politely inform them that it is my company's policy and I apologize if they are offended, but that's it. When pouring, I only pour 1 ounce of each beer, 1/2 ounce of each wine, and 1/4 ounce of spirits. Spirits should be offered with a mixer in a separate cup that the customer can mix if they choose. Customers are limited to only 1 taste of each product, no revisiting. Customers may not share their product with others. This is always a delicate point. Just be polite, and most customers will comply. I also make sure that they throw their tasting cups in the trash before they leave the tasting area. Remember to encourage your customers to take product from your display. Hand them a bottle to inspect and close the sale. I keep a running tally of each bottle taken by customers. If the customers are having fun, ask if you can take a picture of them. Often, our clients request these photos, so make the experience fun. Now, although our shifts are usually 3 to 4 hours, and I made sure to use the restroom before opening the bar, nature may call. If it does, I recork or reseal my products, hide them under the table in my cooler or in the provided bar, close the tasting area, and make it quick. I never leave any open products unattended on the table or the bar. Once the tasting is completed, I close the tasting area while I return the remaining product to the display or shelf from where I got it. I now count the product that is left to include the information on my invoice. Back at the tasting bar, I put away all my supplies. The storage container makes cleaning up fast. Then, I take the remaining product and ice bucket to the approved dump area, which is often the restroom. Remember, it is Sales Pro's policy to dump all remaining product and dispose of the containers appropriately. I then load all my materials and table onto a shopping cart, and when leaving, I check out with the manager. I always leave my demo area in better shape than when I found it. I always want that store manager to be happy to see a Sales Pro's independent contractor conducting a tasting. Now for our Sales Pros tip of the day. Learn from others. Some of you may have some setup and selling tips of your own that can help other independent contractors in their selling pursuits. If you have some great photos or surefire selling techniques, be sure to share them on the Sales Pros Slinger Facebook page. Wet demos are fun and a great way to sell a ton of product. See you next time.